Welcome back, everybody. This is the big one. This is the big one. This is our 26-27 season prediction show for you guys. I've got Ian, I've got Dylan. We are chatting all things for the upcoming season for Manchester United. We'll be looking at our best 11s. We'll be looking at table predictions. We'll be looking at what Michael Carrick needs to address based on maybe what we've seen preseason, all that kind of stuff, you guys. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts. It's going to be an absolute banger. We got a little bit of news to talk about first because, some bombas dropped today, but we are going to do that no problem, guys. We're going to jump in. Hit that like button for me, please. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you guys are watching on X, come over, please, and subscribe and like too. It does help me out, but we will be back here with you guys in a hot second. I'm going to bring you guys in. I'm going to do this so I'm not blocking anybody. There we go. That's better. Ian, Dylan, how are we, chaps? How's it going?
Going on, guys.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good day.
It's a hot day. I'll say that much. It's hot outside today, but
Still. There's no breeze. It's just hot and still.
Yeah, it's gross outside. Very, very gross. But we're back nonetheless, you guys. I know this is the big one. We've been prepping for this for a while, so I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm excited to hear the chat's thoughts. We've already got Ian jumping into the chat already. This guy just could not wait. Big up, Ian.
I had to. I just had to. I can't do anything while I'm in the show. So.
Yeah, they're funny. Ed, you gifted a membership already. This guy is just off the wall. Happy hour started a little early in Ian's neck of the woods, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Well, big up everyone. Big up Danny. Hope you're doing well. Are you guys excited about the show? You excited about the season?
Well, I'm ready for the season to get going. I want to see football to come back. I'm done with preseason. Let's go.
Yeah. I know people do get excited for preseason. Honestly, though, like I was at trivia last week, and apparently the Lions had a I came in and we had to get a seat, and it was pretty packed at this bar. And I was like, well, "What's going on?" And the guy was like, "There's a Lions game," and I'm like, "Oh, all right, it's a little early." And then found out preseason, and I'm like, "Why are there people packing bars for a preseason NFL game? It makes no sense to me." But what you gonna do?
You got to watch what you got to watch, ain't you? I mean, when your team are on, your team are on.
An excuse to drink, I guess. Before we dive in, you guys, let me do a little quick shout out to my friend Jeremy. He has a Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, Hobbit, all things based YouTube channel, and he is doing a live stream tonight. He's going to go through the first chapter of Lord of the Rings. He's going to do a little bit of analysis. Now, if you guys really want to sound smart in front of your friends, you're watching the trilogy, you're hanging out, this is the channel to watch. The guy goes super deep. Those last couple of videos are on like the use of alliteration in certain passages of the Lord of the Rings and what that kind of thing is all about. He's working on a book right now as well. The guy is levels above. So he definitely could learn a thing or two. But shout out to Jeremy. I did put a link over in the community section. So go check that one out if you guys haven't yet seen that post, and just show him some love. And if you are Lord of the Rings people, it's probably a good channel to go ahead and follow as well, subscribe to. So, but you guys are learning a thing or two on that one. So, other news: PFA player awards are next week. So next week we will learn if Bruno won the PFA Player of the Year. Okay, where's everybody stand on
the worst kept secret?
Do you think he's gonna win it? Do you think not? And if he doesn't, who could take it? Who could take it?
If he doesn't win it, it's just a joke. It's been like Arsenal fan or something. But like, no, to be honest, I really can't even like justify off the top of my head right now someone else from last season who deserves it more. I mean, there were some okay performances from other players, but like nothing anywhere near the level. So you think I can't see it.
So you think the record kind of clinches it?
Yeah. I think from the season, how the season was to how it ended, and everything in between, considering like some of the other people's records are in more games and over more competitions, and you want to say, oh, Arsenal won this and got to the final of that. Yeah, but was Declan Rice as important to that as Bruno was to what we did? Absolutely not. So
interesting take, Dylan. What are your thoughts? Big up Jeremy too. Sorry, Jeremy jumping in. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I would say the only real competition Bruno would have for that, because I mean the record's huge, and if you just look at what he meant to the team, if he wasn't in the team or if he wasn't orchestrating, or it was kind of the same with Casemiro, it's like when they went out or when they weren't playing, which was for Bruno not very often, but like, you know, the whole team dropped off. And so that, if you're going to look at player of the year, breaking a record and what they mean for the season, it kind of has to be Bruno. Like if you take Declan Rice out, Arsenal is still going to be good. They're still going to be able to dominate, most likely, most teams. And the only other one I'd think of was like maybe if you wanted to give it to like Holland, just because, you know, striker, he scores, he's there. But
did he score in the final? No,
I don't remember. Okay. No.
Yeah, because there weren't a couple Arsenal players that were up there. I feel like you could almost split. They almost might split the vote a little bit. Plus, this is it's voted on by the players, and we've seen how many players have basically just had nothing but rave reviews for Bruno. Every time you talk to a lot of these players, it's Bruno or this, Bruno that. I mean, we'll see.
I can't see it being anyone else. Yeah.
We didn't win anything, which is but the record is a big deal. So we'll see what the players have to say. It's interesting. I think if it were voted on by the fans, it'd be wildly different, right?
But that's kind of the big thing right there. You're looking. It's a player award and not a team award.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's a team award, we shouldn't even be in the conversation because we didn't win anything. But as a team, as a player, what
that means to that team,
what he brought to the team, what he brought to the game, everything like that to the season. And breaking a record is pretty phenomenal.
It's there's always going to be rivals and haters who are going to try. I mean, people do it with Carrick already. I mean, it's the whole shtick you get with Carrick. Even though Carrick was literally the best manager in the season in the league last season since he arrived, everyone's going to still be like, well, we didn't have Champions League and stuff like. He still came in and dominated City, dominated Arsenal, dominated Liverpool. We gifted Liverpool 2 goals and they still couldn't come back and snatch a point. Like haters going to hate.
Might have just given him from the start because it would have made no difference.
Yeah.
We still won at the end of the
day.
I
mean, to challenge a little bit, though, I mean, because you could argue, like, Granit Xhaka's impact on Sunderland, right, was major, right? Does he deserve to be in with a shout?
I mean, it would have the same sort of thing if the players were all looking at that. I mean, in the same regards to the way Dylan said about, like, maybe like a Haaland or someone because of the amount of goals. But the players know they have an award for that. You get the amount of goals, you get an award for that. I don't think just an amount of goals should justify you. The players won't pick you to be the player's player just because you scored goals. Yeah. I think they know that award is that. But there is a matter of if it's based around what a player is, then Sean makes a really good point. There's plenty of those. I mean, could you say that for Igor Thiago for Brentford? Are teams like Brighton in the league because of Danny Welbeck, who's not there now, and things like that. Yeah. So
it's interesting. Again, I think the players. I don't think the players really look at that kind of stuff honestly, since they're the ones they're going to be looking at. Who they play against, things like that. Who they're looking at through a player's lens. So I think the players do look at things a little differently than the fans do as well. So they'll know a little bit. They're actually out there playing. So we'll see. We will see. I saw Simon Kennedy was talking about Bruno. I think that release clause is expired, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that expired like last week or something. But let's get some of the big news out of the way before we dive into this prediction show. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we have a big show planned. I don't want to get derailed by anything. But let's obviously chat a little bit from the big news of the day coming from Mr. David Ornstein, who has dropped this bomba on us this morning that United are closing in on a deal to sign Carlos Baleba from Brighton. Offer for 22-year-old Cameroonian midfielder. The offer as it stands, and I did a short on this earlier, £60 million plus £5 million add-ons, which reportedly is below what Brighton value him at. Of course, that's how negotiations work. But talks are amicable. We're moving. This is the first step in the process. Personal terms are already agreed. We agreed to those basically last summer. He is currently injured. A little bit of a slight ankle issue, but nothing serious. But a lot of us wanted an all-action ground eater, some legs. Does Baleba tick that box? How do you both feel about this? And chat, how do you feel about this signing?
You want to go, Deal? Go on. You go.
Well, number one, I'm glad we're not going to sign him for $100 million, like they were talking about last year. Like that would just have been absurd. If the reports are to believe. I mean, I think he'll definitely add something to the midfield, something that we didn't necessarily have. But I'm just the injury gives me a slight pause, even though it's minor. And also, he fell off quite a bit last year. Like, and again, was that a mental thing? Like being linked to United, didn't get the move. Wasn't really in the right headspace. That would be concerning to me. And as we've all mentioned before, like we're all frustrated with the lack of effort or the lack of movement in the transfer market. And so it's like, yes, are you doing your? I think Sean mentioned this yesterday or put it in the WhatsApp group. It's like doing your due diligence is all great, but like if you're over analyzing and not pulling the trigger, like now you're hurting yourself the other way instead of just buying everything that you could.
Yeah.
Or buying the shiniest objects. So I definitely think he'll be an addition. I don't know how much of an addition right now he will be.
Well, I think for me, I'm very pleased with the fact that we've got this. We've got him. We've almost got him over the line, as far as it knows. I've been championing him for all of last year. I mean, he had a much better season the season before when I was calling it. As regard to that, I think at his age, it was a big effect on him. It did have a big effect on him. We did hear he had some family bereavement around the same sort of time as well, which if that's happened to anybody, then A, I'm sorry for you, but B, that can ruin anybody. I don't care who you are. You're a 21-year-old kid, though. It can hit you real hard. He did have a bit of period where he wasn't great and he was subbed on and subbed off and didn't play. But then he brought himself back out of that, forced himself back into the team and was involved in some of their best performances of the season towards the end. I think he's more than shown what he can do in 3 seasons for Brighton. And for his age, and then take into consideration this is why another reason he ticks so many boxes for Ineos. £12,000, which no one here is scoffing at that kind of money, but that's all the kid is on at Brighton. £12,500 a week. I will bet you anybody now, 10 memberships, he is on less than 80 grand when he signs this deal at United. I guarantee it. I almost guarantee it. There'll be bonuses and there'll be things he can get, that'll go up. But when he first signs, I bet you it's 80 or less. It definitely will be. It will be. I heard something as well this afternoon. I think it was Laurie Whitwell. So he's on the Talk of the Devils podcast, and he was talking about the reports are they've renegotiated what they negotiated last year. So that means it's even lower. Yeah. Not higher. They ain't going up, are they? Why would they have renegotiated? Not with Brighton, with him. So that all aside, I think he's the missing piece in our midfield, and we'll get onto it a bit maybe another time. But he's the cogs that's going to make the engine work.
Definitely brings the legs. I think he ticks a box of someone that we don't have.
You could see on the weekend, Sean, couldn't you? Sorry, just before you go. As soon as Santos went off, you need Kobe and Tillemans both need that legs next to them, which is why he's so vastly important.
Maybe Carrick showing Ineos that we need to light a fire under it.
That's it, mate.
Yeah, Simon, like we said, he does have a little bit. He did pick up an ankle ligament issue, but it's not serious. We're not expecting him to be out very long. So again, it's always the nature of the injuries, not just the injuries themselves necessarily. Does he tick the box here? I put up numbers for the last 2 seasons. Now, this past season is in blue. 24-25 season is in red. I will say there's a caveat because this past season, obviously, like Dylan said, he didn't play as many minutes. He was often the first one subbed off, or he wasn't even starting matches and things. I think he played maybe just under 2,000 minutes, which is not any number to really compare. But that's why I put both seasons up there so you can get maybe a little better idea. But you could definitely see he excels at winning back the ball and kind of even driving that ball out with the carrying, the possession one, and he's not a slouch when it comes to playing a forward pass either as well. So
no.
Probably, I mean, his physicality, I think, is going to be an asset in the Champions League, where the physicality of the Premier League clubs, I think, has been as an X factor in these last couple seasons. I think he could be what we thought maybe Ugarte was going to be for us. I think he's better on the ball than Ugarte, and I think he also brings those legs. I'm fine with it. I wish we would have done it sooner. There's a chance maybe if we'd done this earlier, he might not have even picked up an injury. Who knows?
Sure.
So it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit there and split hairs about it. I'm happy with the signing. Like I said, he wouldn't be my like world class like Chouameni level, but in terms of just bringing depth and balance to what the overall midfield lineup, I think that he completes that balance and what he offers. So are you guys happy with Tielemans, Santos, and Baleba for probably what's going to end up being maybe 150, 160 pounds tops? Would you guys have rather had only Mateus Fernandes and Ederson for around that money?
Oh, absolutely not.
I'd take 3. I want the depth.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's perfect 3. I really do. I'm really happy with it. I think what they promised us, in the same way that they bought 3 proper attackers that we needed last year, they bought 3 proper midfielders. Yeah. Regardless of the time, take all that aside, and what it does to the score of the transfer window is not what we're talking about. But am I happy with the 3 midfielders we've signed? Yes. Yes, it's simple.
Dylan, you happy with it?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all kind of wanted that one stellar signing. But you know what? Sometimes that's not what you need necessarily in the midfield. Sometimes you just need the guys that are going to get in there and work. And to put the grit and the grind in. And we can see that Santos will. Tielemans, he's had experience at Villa and everything. We've seen him do that before at Leicester. Hopefully that transitions and carries over. And then Baleba, we need to get him going, get him firing, and get that confidence up to play at this stage. But yeah, like Simon's saying, it's the best fit. It's going to be the best midfield we've had in years, and it should free up.
100%, Simon.
It should free up Bruno to be more attack minded. Bruno's
definitely
not going to drop deep as much.
And with Tielemans too, if Tielemans starts next to Baleba, for instance, now Bruno doesn't have to drop deep to play the balls. He can stay a little higher up, which is, I think, where he needs to be.
Absolutely.
And think about the options we have now. Like we can, depending on what the competition is, or if we need to make a sub, you've got a progressive dribbler and a hard runner in Kabe. You've got the passer and the guy that knows where to position himself with Tielemans. Santos is young; he's got some legs. Same thing with Baleba, but they could pick a pass here and there. We got options.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So you nailed that there, Dylan. It's both of our 6s are adapt at being 8s, and both of our 8s are adapt at being 6s. Basically, you could put any combination of those 4 together with Bruno ahead of them, and we are ticking. And I mean ticking. Yeah. It's lovely
what I think
to
it's
see.
also good to just have the balance. I think we often can look at individual players, but especially when you're looking at like center backs and you're looking at midfielders, we also need to take into consideration who's already there, who they could be playing beside, because like Ian was saying, you looked at like on its face, you can be like, yes, Kabe is great, Tielemans is great, but do they complement each other in the midfield? Probably not. You can look at 2 center backs and say, oh, they're amazing, but do they complement each other side by side? You don't want something too redundant. You don't want too many ball players who aren't good in the air, who aren't physical. You need to make a good balance there. So I think it brings balance. I'm happy with it. Now we just need to go get a left back and a striker, and I'll be happy.
Let's get the left back. I don't see us getting a striker, but let's get a left back in there. Come on, because
strikers if Xerxes goes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Dylan, can you do me a real quick favor? No, your mic is fine. Can you close there's a curtain or something next to you because I can't see your face. There you go.
I'm just going to have to hold this because the way the setting is, it can't go any farther.
No, you're fine. No, the mic was fine. I just the curtain is. Oh, I got you. No problem. Gotcha. No worries.
Because I don't know who made this curtain rod thing, but I haven't had time to change it and drill new holes. So
you're all right. Don't hold it, man. It's fine.
Did my wife put that up for you? She has a tendency of doing all kinds of shit like that.
So, I don't want you to put your hand up, man. It's not. We can see you. I just want to make sure.
It's fine.
Put your hand down.
Yeah, you're all right, bud. It's fine. Guys, get in the chat and peer pressure Dylan and putting his arm down. Because peer pressure is good. It works just fine.
Dylan, I get washed out by my behind because I'm wearing a black t-shirt and it's black behind me. As it gets darker in here, I'll just be like, you can't see me.
All right, there's not really any rhyme or reason to some of the questions and topics we're going to talk about today when we talk about the season, kind of all over the place. So we're just not order. So we're going to chat. I'm just going to throw out some questions, and you guys, Ian, Dylan, you got a preview of some of them. Some of them I added after the fact, so you might be caught off guard. And then chat, get involved as well. They do have a poll for you, so get involved in that poll before we get on. But make sure before we dive in, you guys hit the like button, subscribe. If we can get to 20 likes, I will go ahead and gift 5 more memberships. That is the limit of the August memberships, though. So, and then Rob Taft comes in with the Fantasy Premier League code. Yes, there is a post in the community section, and I'll leave this up here for a hot second. But we do have a Fantasy Premier League as well, you guys. So go check that out. Get involved.
Rob won't mind me telling this, but he sent me a link the other night saying, "Have you seen? Watch this video. Watch that." And he said, "How's your team?" So I sent him a picture, and he sent me back. He goes, "It's looking all right. Just a question." And I was like, "What's that?" And he goes, "Why have you got Sangare?" And I was like, "Well, of course I'm going to have Sangare." And he went, "Yeah, but that's not the right Sangare." And I was like, "Oh no!" And when I looked, I picked the Forest one, and I was just sitting there, and I was, "Oh no!" And he went. Well, he might not play, so you need to switch money around because I'd done my budget as well. And I'm like, this means changes. It was an hour, full hour. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed. There's no way I would have seen it. Absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I did that with the World Cup thing. I added Araujo, and it was the wrong Araujo. Same team, same name, completely different player. So it was just super annoying. Missed out.
As well, I'm doing it on my phone, so it was a little screen, and the red and the Forest shirt and the Brentford shirt, they ain't too different. They're not. So
fancy, man. You just gotta always double check before you hit accept, submit, final.
Get your teams in before Friday because you'll miss out on the points.
Yes, season does kick off. So while we're talking about signings, talking about players, remember we did a lot of this stuff, you guys. Full caveat: best 11s, table predictions. This was all finalized yesterday before all this Baleba stuff. And honestly, the Baleba stuff's not even final yet, so I'm not even sure we can actually count it because we thought Ederson was locked up. Dylan's still crying into his pillow about that one.
I had forgotten about that, but thank you, Sean.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. It's what it is. But let's start. Let's start with the big one. Let's start with what you guys is going into the season. Let's say everyone's fit and firing. Okay, don't try to think about like the whole match, like who's fit. Let's say everyone's fit. What's your best 11 going into this season? What, like for best, not again Baleba excluded because he's not actually here. But what's your best 11? And you guys get involved in the chat.
We decided who's going first out of us 3, or
doesn't really matter. Y'all do.
Go on, then, Dylan.
Go ahead, Ian. Ian, you got it.
Right, okay. Well, I think this is too easy. So it's just centre in goal. Mazraoui, Yoro, Maguire, Shaw, Santos, Tillemans, Cunha, Bruno. I want to say different. Sesko's fit, yeah? So if Sesko's fit, then Sesko in Boomu. But yeah, that's mine.
So one more time.
So Lemens, Mazraoui, Yoro, Maguire, Shaw, Santos, Tillemans, Cunha, Bruno, Mbumo, Sesko.
Interesting. Okay. So, no Dorgu, no Delit, no Licha. Interesting.
No.
Okay. Dylan,
I forgot
hit me
about
with it.
Delit. I forgot about Delit.
What'd you say, Ian?
I forgot about Delit. And Sean said everyone fit. I was like, yeah, I just didn't take it.
So I'm gonna say, I mean, Lamens is that's a no-brainer. I'm going with Maz in place of Dallo. It's just I don't trust Dallo enough defensively to really have him be somebody that I'm going to look at as like, yeah, you should be the starter. He like Sean's brought up a lot. He'll get up there and he'll cross it, but 1 out of 15 are going to be accurate. And so I'd rather have the defensive solidity there. I'm going to go Yoro and Leach as the center backs. I think they'll match up better than Maguire because Maguire just I've seen it a little bit last year, and I saw it a little bit in the preseason. He just seems like he's a little bit indecisive right now, and I don't know if it's just because it was preseason and he was playing with Heaven, and so he was trying to cover for him. But even I noticed it with Leaches sometimes he was doing that. So I think Yoro really looked better. I think his confidence is back. He looks a little bit more like he did the year before. And then Shaw, because he's the only left back we got at the club, just like Roy Keane or Kent said about Gary Neville. And then Santos Tielemans right now. I think Baleba probably slots in there for Santos to start, and then you probably have him come on later or Kabi go on. Bruno, starter, definitely. Cunha on the left, Shesko in the middle, and Mbumo on the right.
So interesting. So nobody's feeling Dallo so far. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's interesting. So all right.
So watching Mazraoui defending the World Cup, how can you want Dallo?
Oh, I've been saying I'd start Mazraoui over Dallo for years. You guys know
You'd
that.
start a traffic cone over Dallo.
I would rather have nobody back there than Dallo. I'd start with 10. So all right. So a couple of good 11s. So I'll go. Tom Heaton. No, I'm just joking. I mean, do we really have to? I mean, Senna Lemons is already. He's just. Again, you got to keep him in there. I also am going with Mazraoui, but I think when fit, Delit and Leach are two best center backs by far. I think just head and shoulders. I think they complement each other well. I think that they're both just they know what they're doing. Again, they're not fit necessarily. Well, Leach is, but Delit's not. But yeah, if they're fit, I'm starting those two over anyone else. I'm not starting Shaw at left back. I'm actually going to be starting Dorgu at left back. I think that Dorgu is capable of getting up and down the pitch. I think that that's the one thing that Shaw's either going to stay back or he's going to stay forward in wide areas. And we need someone who can do both. Unfortunately, fullback is a position where you don't have the luxury of like not being able to track back and stuff. You have to be able to do both. That's a big ask of fullback. It's like the one position on the pitch where that's what you have to do. You cover like the entire like touch line. That's just part of it. So I'm starting Dorgu. I think that he does get forward, he does get balls into the box, and he tracks back. And these are things that Shaw will either do one or the other, but Dorgu will do both. And so I'm not saying he's a better overall left back, but I think that's Shaw just can't hang. He can't handle the physical demands of the position necessarily anymore. So, and Dorgu can. And then same pivot. Andre Santos, Tielemans to start. Cunha, obviously Bruno, Shesko, and I'm actually feeling Ahmad more than I am Mbumo. I think that I think I don't think Mbumo impressed me a ton. I'm not writing him off. I'm not saying he's a flop or anything like that. I just and I'm not saying Ahmad was better. Obviously Ahmad didn't have it, but we saw a definite shift when we stopped playing both of them together, with one playing wingback, and then we just had to choose one or the other basically. So if I had to start tomorrow, if I was I would probably start Ahmad on the right. But again, I think it's just and we saw the other day too what he can do that I don't think any of the other attackers will do. Just constantly putting pressure on the ball.
That heavy press,
He wins possession like several times in a match, which can be the difference between a quick transition goal and not. I think that's
Scored again from it, didn't we?
yeah, we've scored goals just from him doing that alone. I mean, Liverpool in the FA Cup quarterfinal a couple years ago when he nicked the ball off of Harvey Elliott, he does that all the time, and I'm very happy with that. So,
I mean, I agree with what you just said about Ahmad there. I think him in the performances in pre-season has been one of the best players. And you're right. If we were starting tomorrow, it would be Mbumu up front and him on the right, 100%, just 100%. And some of the best moments of football we've seen in like little combinations have come from that side through Ahmad with Mbumu, with Bruno, with Mount at times in the pre-season. So yeah, it's a good shout.
Philip's got his in there. He's going Lamens. He's actually going with Dallo, Leach de Ligt, and he's got Mazraoui. So he's got one of those guys on the left. I'm going to assume it's going to be Mazraoui because he's played on the left more. He's got Santos Tillmans. He's actually starting Rashford ahead of Cunha. Interesting. Bruno, Mbumo, Shesko. Interesting stuff.
It's interesting we've all gone for a very similar pivot. No one's starting Kobe.
Yeah.
No one yet.
Not yet. Well, it's interesting. I think that and I've said throughout last year too, I don't think Kobe's necessarily a nailed-on starter.
I don't think
anybody is, yeah. Unless you're like Bruno or something.
Bruno and Lamens are the only two names that come on the pre-printed list, and then Carrick fills in the rest of them. He gets the list, and there's just two names on there. You just have to fill in the other spaces. But
yeah, I do agree with Simon. I don't like Mbumo in the 9. I think that it's an experiment that doesn't work.
I wouldn't want him there all season, but at a push, I think out of everyone else apart from Sesko, he is the best there. I don't think Cunha, it doesn't suit the way Cunha plays. If we're going to play the midfield like that, it doesn't suit Cunha. If you're playing, say, Baleba and Santos deep, then maybe it suits Cunha, but he just can't get involved in that channel running. It's just not his style. So Mbumu over anyone else apart from Sesko. But yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want him there all season.
We just need to move the ball forward quicker if we're going to play Mbumo there, because once that space is gone, like he's almost useless. Because I think, and that's where I do think Cunha is better. I think in those tight areas when you do need to rely on a little more ball carrying through the lines, I think that's where Cunha excels. I think Mbumo is better if you're playing a transition and you're playing maybe against the high line, or maybe we win the ball back off a corner real quick and we can release it quickly. I think that's where you want someone like Mbumo. Just put it into space, don't kick it too far, don't throw it too far, and just let him run onto it. I think that's where he's going to excel.
Absolutely. Running the channels. Definitely. I just think so. If you've got Cunha, maybe in a team against a team with a low block, as a second with Sesko, but if you've got Bruno in the hole, you've got Tillemans, and you say we've even got Kobe on against a team with they're just sitting back, that's too many people in a hole here and nobody up there. And that just doesn't work. At least in Mbumu is the running behind. But, at a pinch.
Philip says, I like 1v1 wingers with great speed. Also actually like Dallo on the left when he played there a couple times. Dallo, to me, it's never about where he plays. It's just how he plays. I just don't think he does enough personally. I mean, he's got mentality, but his footballing IQ is not quite there. His crossing, as Dylan says, not quite there. Because his footballing IQ is not there, his 1v1 defending is not great. He's kind of a liability at times, and so anything that I need a fullback to do, Dallo just doesn't do very well.
He's average at everything. He's not good at one or the other. Do you know what his best moment though in a United shirt is? I don't know how many people will agree with me. It was on the left when he absolutely roasted Trent Alexander-Arnold step over in the box. We all know it's his greatest moment. Yeah. But it's still his greatest moment. Let's all be fair.
I could roll a football past Trent Alexander-Arnold without him maybe making a challenge on it. The dude is one of the actual worst defender I've ever seen in my life. And when it comes to actually defending, like it's just god-awful. Liverpool fans, I mean, although Liverpool fans like immediately you saw how they pivoted when he left because they defended him to the hilt for years, and all of a sudden he leaves and they can't stand him anymore. It's freaking hilarious, Liverpool fans, man. It is what it is. So a couple of good 11s in there. I mean, what it shows is the differences. I think it shows that we're starting to maybe see a little bit of a quality and depth there that we can swap out like Mbumo for Ahmad, or we can move Dorgu higher if we need to. We can, put Cunha centrally or somebody central if we need to. We've got potentially four midfielders now if Baleba comes through as well. So I think
Absolutely.
and even defense. I mean, Yoro, Heaven, Maguire, Delit, Licho, and everyone's fit. I mean, there's 5 defenders. I think it works. So,
I mean, we've all said it. I mean, Danny's was one of the first people to put the number out there. I remember we were talking about a number of 6, a minimum of 6. And I've seen reports across the board. Baleba makes 4. If the left back that we're being promised is 5, and then Xerxes leaves, that's 6. And it will, but that could actually, I can actually see it happening now. Rashford is a pipe dream, even though I did hear Barcelona are reassessing now, which is just typical. But if they want him, he's still available, But I think Xerxes goes for sure, and we get a striker in.
We'll see. I read Napoli might be coming in form now that Lukaku has gone to Fenerbahce, I believe. But Napoli are also reported looking at Nicholas Jackson as well, so we will see.
Chelsea wants 60 million, though, don't they?
Yeah, Chelsea, they'll probably get it, too, because somehow we're the only club. I mean, we can't even get players for double digits to go to the Saudi League. Is that someone's dog?
Mine was a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I heard it, like, whining. Making sure it wasn't my dog. All right.
I think one of my boys has just turned up.
It's all good. So good 11s. So obviously we're talking a little bit about strikers and whatnot. Who, in terms of scoring these goals, because someone's got to do it. Who do you guys think is going to be our top scorer this year?
I mean, I so badly want to say Sesko, but so we haven't seen him kick a ball since last year. I'm going to say Sesko. I think it's a bit easy to say, but I'm going to say Sesko.
So you're going with the striker.
Same.
Yep. Interesting. Philip agrees. He's going with Sesko. I'm actually going to go outside shout. I'm going to go Cunha.
That's a big shout.
I think we spent all that money. He is the left winger for all intents and purposes. We can sit here all day and talk about how we like him better centrally, how he operates more centrally, whatever. Doesn't matter. He is taking up the left wing spot, so that's where he's going to start. And I think that I think he just, for me, I think he's going to have a different role to play than maybe just playing out wide. I think there's going to be a little. We've seen the way we're playing preseason. There's a lot of hold-up play from the strikers, a lot of the wingers cutting inside to get involved in that. I think there's going to be a little bit more 1-2 give and go in that final phase, and I think that's where Cunha shines personally. Just a lot of that Gibbs White kind of as a kind of interchange, a lot of movement, a lot of confusion in that final third, and I think that Cunha is going to be the one to benefit from a lot of that.
I'd love to see us play Cunha in that sort of Gibbs White free roll across. Just say, look, there's the 18-yard line. Just run across that all day, all game, just annoying everybody. Because I agree. I think he could most certainly do it.
And he's got that knack for carrying the ball through traffic and somehow, like Ahmad, just kind of sticking to his feet, which is. I mean, maybe it's the Brazilian, maybe it's just the techers that comes with it, but and he's got that attitude about him. But I do think that he could be in with a shot. I'm not saying he's going to put away 20, but I think what helps is because I think the goals are being spread. We've got 4 players last year who had like double digits, and I think that he might just nick it by like a couple goals.
I was going to say that as well. I think we'll get at least the same amount of players on double digits, if not maybe one more. And I fancy Cunha to have maybe a good 5 more at least than last year, due to the fact I actually see him playing a bit more central in more games. Or we are going to maybe see what we thought we'd never see, which is a little bit more Bruno rotation. Because we're going to have way too many more games. Or we might actually see a game where we play 2 10s. You just don't know with it. We could do anything.
Yeah,
we could do anything. We could play
I wouldn't
5
put
up
it
front.
past rotating Bruno, or maybe starting him from the bench and maybe in the first couple rounds of these domestic cups, depending on the draw. We seem to get shit on with the draw, although Grimsby basically didn't really make a difference, so it doesn't matter. I wouldn't mind that. Here's an outside shout, though. If he stays, could Rashford be in with a shout of nicking a couple goals?
He'll get a couple, but he's not. I think what we saw last year was that he really does better in, especially since the surgery, he's going to do better in a league that gives him more space. It's not going to be as physical. I mean, we saw his La Liga, he did very well there. I think he'd do well in the Bundesliga. We know he'd probably destroy the French league. But I just think the physicality where he's not just going to be able to dribble past somebody or run past them because he's going to get the hip check or he's going to get, the thing, and he's just not going to have the same level of impact. I mean, he'll get some goals, but I don't think it's going to be what we saw a couple years ago where he had 20 or 30 or whatever it was.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, 20 or 30 might not be necessary. Again, if we're splitting goals, if Rashford makes a couple of sub appearances, if he shows up in the Champions League or something, gets double. I can easily see him getting double digits for sure.
I think if he gets a run of games, let's for instance, he played a Champions League game, scored. Next week played in the Carabao Cup, got hat-trick, and then might start a Premier League game, and then he scores in that. Then Carrick might go, well, go on then. You can have another go then. What
happens if he is banging goals? I mean, what if Šeško's injured? We don't know how long Šeško's going to be. His guy just only started doing some light training. I mean, he could be out until the first international break.
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't mean he has to come in on the left. I mean, I said it the other day, and my daughter said it during the PSG game. Rashi would have gotten a couple of those. And some of the balls Sean said it about 10 minutes ago about the balls that we're going to be playing in behind. Yeah. That does suit Rashford. It actually does. I don't want to be a rat. No one here wants him less, but if we're stuck with him, let's at least use him to his strength. Super sub off the bench, 20 minutes to go. He is rapid. Let's make him just go on, Marcus, get on the end of that.
Rashford is the person. Is he going to accept that?
He ain't got a choice.
He's got no choice. He may not.
He ain't got no choice. He kicks off now. It's going to make him look even more stupid.
But does he really care?
I mean,
because somebody else will sign him. That's the thing.
Well,
he
they
can
haven't
run down that contract. But they're not signing him because they don't want the wages. But he'll still have some pace when he's when he's 31. He can go to the French league and somebody will take him, and he can make them look like.
But that shows. I mean, the clubs will pay attention to that if he's mentally focused more on getting the paycheck and not playing for 2 years.
Jadon Sancho
would take notice of that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Barcelona didn't take up a 26 million option. Nobody picked up a 40 million release clause. And like you're saying, the wages have a lot to do with it. But again, if the player, in my opinion, if clubs do pay attention to the fact if you're happy to sit on the bench, if you've got a known attitude issue, right? We know that he's got attitude issues. It's out there. It's academic at this point. Yeah. Clubs pay attention to that, and sometimes they don't want to. I think player power is not as strong as people like to think it is these days.
Not anymore, no. And clubs have got choices now. And also, if you think he wants too much money now, how much money do you think he's going to want when he knows he's a free agent and you're not paying for him? Do you think he's going to want less money?
Sancho's a free agent and he's nobody.
He wants it. Yeah, but Rashford's going to want more than 300 grand a week if he's a free agent. If we released him tomorrow, he ain't going to sign for no team for 100 bags. He just isn't. It's not happening. So who thinks they're getting him for free in a year? He's going to want 400 grand a week.
The only places he can go will be MLS or the Saudi League or maybe Bayern. Bayern pay their players a lot of money. If Luis Diaz leaves Bayern or something, that's like the only actual European club I could see Rashford actually going to. And if he doesn't take a pay cut, he has to take a pay cut.
He's costing us £30 million for 2 more years. So, and that's at 350. And he's going to want more than 350 if he's a free agent. So it's a joke.
What I do think is Rashford and Šeško can't play together. I don't think Šeško can play with wingers who don't put balls into the box. So I think if Šeško's injured, you want free-flowing attacking. You put Rashford, you put Ahmad, you put Mbumo as your front three and just let them run at people. that's fine. Because otherwise it's going to be like when we had Ronaldo and he's waiting for crosses from Greenwood and Rashford, and he's like,
They're
because these
not
players,
coming.
they don't want to cross the ball, they want to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Big up, Timothy. Welcome, says Shesko. I like watching you
Him.
play, and you are a great player, and that's why I'm encouraging you to be fast and accurate. Watching from Zambia. Big up. Shout out, Zambia. We had someone in here from Uganda the other day. Like it. We are just worldwide phenomenon now. We'll see.
Global
Rob
level. Tour
Rob,
coming.
Rob thinks Rashford
Yeah.
could be a good asset. He's gone stale before. We'll see. I mean, like I said, Rashford, he could be a little bit of a hidden gem off the bench. I think, because he does have pace. He does have direct play. He can score goals. The question with Rashford is just up here.
Yeah. The mentality of coming off the bench as well. I mean, if we look at his best season for us, it was under Ollie, wasn't it? And it was counter-attacking football. So ball in behind, get on the end of it. Like I said a minute ago, 20 minutes ago, bring him on and knock the ball in the channel and just go, get on the end of that. That's all your job is. Don't worry about defending because we know that he can't do it anyway. Yeah. So just get on the end of that. That's his job. You're a greyhound. Get on the end of that.
He gets a ball in the half turn, you turn and feed it true to your teammates. It's his job.
Yeah, it's a dag. Yeah.
Business, welcome to business. He says nobody's expecting him to do well, so when he chips in with a few goals, it will all be forgotten. I mean, if that were up to me, I would still force him out of here. He can't just walk right back in.
Give him away for free.
He can't just walk back in. So Bexy says we should move on. I think we should too, but we work with what we have, not with what we want all the time. So it is what it is.
We could move on. We've said it before though. For people, would you rather move on and Rashford go and Xerxes stays? We ain't getting another striker. Or would you rather Rashford stays, Xerxes goes, and we get another striker?
You guys all voted to keep Rashford over Xerxes last week, so
100% still would do that. But I would also give Rashford away for free. So there I am, stuck between a rock and a bigger rock.
So most of you think Shesko is going to be the top scorer. Who do you think will be our player of the season next season?
If it's not Bruno, we have either had an absolute stormer or we've been atrocious at the back and Lamens has done a De Gea and pulled a player of the year out. Apart from that, I honestly can't see anybody unless I'd love it to be like Tillemans or Santos to come in and just dominate on a level that he's just like, yep, it's yours, mate. But I also think Mbumu will be a lot better this year. I think more goals. I nearly said Mbumu for our top goal scorer. I actually think it's going to suit him how we're going to start playing a lot more. So
we'll see.
He just needs to finish. He needs to finish those chances he gets. So
you're going Bruno. Dylan, what are you thinking?
I can't really see anybody else but Bruno at this point. Yeah. Like what he brings to the team, he's still operating at a high level, goals and assist wise, how he tracks back. Hopefully, taking some of that pressure off him with the better. The midfield, the better midfield, where he can focus more on the attacking output. So if it's not Bruno, and hopefully it's, I mean, as much as we love Lamens, if it's Lamens, there's a problem.
We don't want the goalkeeper to be player of the year or man of the match or anything like that. It's not what I want.
Yeah, I could honestly see Cunha. I could even see like Andre Santos, like if he chips in with some goals, get stuck in, get some good defensive performances.
Yeah, man, there's so many possibilities.
Santos has like a Casemiro style season, like the Casemiro having that's in with a shot. It's definitely going to be Bruno. I think for me the biggest question is not who's going to be the player of the year, but how many assists is Bruno going to get this year?
Can he beat the record again? I mean, if he does, just create a new end to the Trinity. But let's just call it the quad instead.
I don't think he'll break the record. I do think he'll get a lot, but I do think...
he'll definitely be in the high teens this year.
I'll tell you what, though, Sean, you might see him... Sorry, Dylan. You might see him break the record of assists in a season over all games. Because if we do okay in the Champions League and okay or win one of the Cups, he's going to have a lot more games, isn't he?
He's got to get better on corners. If he was better on corners, he'd probably have a couple more assists.
I think he's going to take less of those now.
Good. I don't like him taking them.
Especially if we get Raum.
But that's the other thing, though, because he was whipping those balls in last year. And how many open chances did we miss? Like, he should have had 30.
If he can beat the first man, it would be great.
Yeah.
But Big up DJ to get another one coming in from Kenya. Well done, man. Appreciate that. I like the new faces. Philip's going for Bruno for
smash those likes.
Yes, do please hit that like button. Surprise player of the season for you guys?
I think I already said Santos would surprise me. Not surprise me because I don't rate him, and I've been surprised how good he was. I'd heard he was good, and you laugh and think, oh, that's a bit good. The Chelsea fans being upset about it, but visually, what I've seen, he's been absolute diamond. I think even if we get Baleba, I still think he's the best, in my opinion, the best of the three until we see it up more from the other two. He's been superb, like way better than I thought he would be. I thought it would take him a bit of time. I thought he'd look shaky and nervous in a couple of games. He looks like he has played for us for at least a year, if not longer. Heaven looks more shaky.
Well, Heaven looks 19 because he's 19.
There's two games. One looked like Heaven's debut, and one looked like Santos as the experienced midfielder. So yeah, for me, Santos.
Dill.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it'd be like Santos. Maybe if we sign a left back, maybe that would be something different. But yeah, I think the only one we'd really be surprised at is if one of the midfielders kind of took it that wasn't Bruno.
Yeah.
I think we'd all be like, Shesko or Mbumo or Cunha, they scored a lot of goals. But if Tielemans gets it, or Santos,
we've had an amazing season. If Tielemans gets it, you know it.
Like, all right, guys, this is amazing. Like
cooking.
Yeah. I would agree. I would go Santos just because he's already been the surprise of the preseason. I think he's been the one player who honestly has made everybody else look kind of bad. If I'm being quite honest with you, he's looked.
Oh yeah.
He's looked like he has no problem playing for the badge. He looks like he's been here for a while. He showed up looking fit, ready to go. He showed all these. Go for it.
He's got a point to prove too, because he didn't play at Chelsea. They really didn't utilize him at all, and so and again, preseason. So we've seen him look very good, and I think that's going to carry over. But he's got a little bit of what Kabi's got. He's like he wants to prove that hey, I deserve to be out here. And that's honestly a really nice problem to have. You've got Kabi, who's 20 years old, and Santos, who is 22. You've got two young midfielders that are just chomping at the bit. Kabi, because he wants to show Tuchel that, hey, you should have played me, and I'm going to show you that was a mistake. And then Santos is like, Chelsea didn't want me.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want Garnacho either, so maybe that means Garnacho is going to do next season.
Maybe it just means one day the brain cell was working, the other day it wasn't. So,
Yeah, I mean, Emery might be able to actually turn some magic there. We'll see.
I think he suits him. I think Emery likes those quick wingers like Rashford, like
Geppetto.
But it's weird
if he stops vaping, he might have a chance.
It's just I don't get the vaping thing, but I'm also old, so it is what it is. No disrespect.
It stops me. I tell you what, it stops me smoking. I'm terrible, and you can moan at me. My wife's the same. The kids moan, but it doesn't matter. I can't just switch something off that I've done since I was 14. I'm 50. I'm 50
I'm
this
just
year.
Gonna put this out there. That's not entirely true, because if that were true, I wouldn't have a job.
No, I'm telling you now. The way I do the things I do in my life, it's just one of my things. But I could show you my cardio report from the thing, and my doctor says my lung capacity is that of a 30-year-old, and as I said, I'm 50 this Christmas. So anyone who thinks I'll take that. Yeah. But yeah, no one ever says that I don't look the age. My wife won like 40 quid once off a bloke at a stall because he had like a guess your age thing. She just banged the money down and went like that, and she went nope. Did it again. She went nope.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Andre Santos, Bexy's going Shesko is going to be our player of the year. If he gets fit, that would be great.
You know what's good about all of our picks? If any of them, or all of them can't come true, but if any of them do, we have had a blinding season. Because if anyone beats Bruno, then they've had a blinder, which means we've had a blinder. Yeah. And if your player of the year is your striker, he's got 20 plus. So yes, please, to all of it.
If we get a top fullback who can cross the ball. Shesko is going to eat. He's going to eat this season.
Oh, just
for sure.
please, David Raum, please. I just can't. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone you could offer me more. I'll take Raum over Lewis Hall right now.
He was my pick when we first did that. I was like, that's a $40 million release clause.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, you got. Sorry, Deal. You got a fallback, like you said. I watched the video back, our video. You've got a fallback that has 3 consecutive seasons of double-figure assists, not in like pre-season or the cup, in the Bundesliga, which is probably the closest out of the major leagues to the Premier League. And he, how many of those assists were to Sesko? I think 6 I saw in one season, 5 in another, and 3, but it was the end of one season. But
the thing is, he can Shaw can do that too, but Shaw just can't get up and down the pitch anymore.
No, and Raum is a leader as well. He's a leader.
He's captain. It's going to be difficult, but again, release clause. Leipzig
they got no say in it
now. So
yeah, exactly.
Just depends on where his head and his heart are.
And Pavel, give us some more Pavel. Come on, Christopher, push harder.
Philip, I want to answer your question, but we did already talk about that when we talked about the Baleba stuff, so I don't want to derail it too much. So you might have to go back and watch that stuff again. And Rob, nothing's 100% with Baleba yet. Personal terms were agreed a year ago, but reportedly we're going to go back in. So surprise player Andre Santos seems to be, the eyes have it. Which youngster is going to break into the first team? Because in preseason, Carrick really only used Amos, Lacey, the Fletcher, Armour, and then Dermot Me a couple times. Sounds like Lacey's pretty much a first teamer now, so I'd probably go with Lacey, especially if he can learn how to play on the left a little bit more. I think that he could surprise a lot of folks. But what do you guys think? Which youngster could be next in line to come in? Not counting Teenan Thompson because he's been here like a day.
I was going to say I was about to say that. I mean, to be fair, he could. I mean, he's probably closer to the first team. I reckon he gets more first team minutes than either of the Fletchers. Because I think both of them will go out on loan. I've heard that JJ will get first.
Like, well, that's my season.
I've heard JJ's been earmarked for some Premier League minutes. Some. It doesn't matter how many. I mean, it could be 20 over like a whole bunch of games, but he has been earmarked for some minutes.
If we go up against Ipswich and we're in the 80th minute and we're up 5-0, yeah, I'm sure JJ will come on if he's on the bench.
Yeah, so I can't see anybody else like that hasn't been, like you said, used in pre-season. Like I can't see as much as I'd love Jimmy Thwaites to do it. I just can't see it all of a sudden. If we can't pick Thompson, I mean, could a Roscoe do so well that he gets picked? I don't think now. Baleba could almost be done. So, Obi?
Maybe if Shesko's injured, maybe Cheeto gets.
Obi might,
get some minutes here.
Yeah, I'm going to say Obi.
I'm only not counting Teenan Thompson because has he even played for the academy? He's only been with the first team. So.
No, I suppose no. Not fair.
Dylan, what are your thoughts?
I would think Lacey too, just because I basically, when I did this, I was like, I already put Lacey as like a first teamer because he's been around for so the first team for so long. I get the feeling that Camison might get some minutes late in the season, and get some, or if we get some injuries with those defenders, I get the feeling with how good he's looked when we've watched the youth setup, with how the minutes he got in the preseason and looked good.
Yeah.
And if he keeps building on that, I could easily see Carrick being like, all right, we got like even if it's like one of the FA Cup matches in the 3rd or the 4th round, whenever we come in, like I could see him being like, let's put him on the bench, and if like we're up, give him some minutes, something like that. So give him that. Look.
You and I were at the match when Montato came on, and he didn't. I think Camison's looked better than Montato is. Yeah, Camison's 19. He'll be 20 this year too. This is you guys remember when we were linked to Giovanni Quenda? I was just like, we don't need to drop whatever Chelsea paid.
Jaden Camison.
We've got Jaden Camison, and I think he looks. We've got a lot of really good fullbacks down in there. And
he'd been on the pitch 40 seconds before he laced up that Rosenberg right back.
Yeah.
So,
I like Camison a lot. I think he could be. The problem is we also have a lot of right backs in the first team too. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But that's one of those things. Like, let's just. I'm assuming for some reason I get the feeling Mazraoui will probably get hurt because that seems like he gets like a foot or a leg thing and he's out for like 2 weeks. and who knows with Dallo. So if both of them if that happens at the same time, or if we just need cover, I could see Comison coming in there and just being the cover and just being around the first team, and then maybe like I said, if we're in that FA, if it's around the FA Cup or something like that, and we need just some minutes for him, throw him out there.
If he's on the bench, all bets are off. Like anything can happen in the middle of the match. So you never know. So that's exactly the kind of opportunity that could make or break, a youngster's career. I mean, look at Rashford. I mean, Rashford probably might not have gotten minutes had Van Persie and Rooney both, not been
And
involved.
what's his name? Getting injured. He got injured, didn't he? The other striker, lanky kid. Forgotten his name now.
So sometimes that's all it takes. Just take your opportunity and you don't look back. Although you could, sometimes you go to Rashford route, sometimes you go like the James Wilson route, where I don't even know where James Wilson is anymore.
No.
He scored brace under Giggsy. 10 years, or more than 10 years ago now. That's crazy.
Yep. Wow.
So sounds like we're all kind of landing on Lacey. All right, let's do a big one. Let's do an involved one here. Let's look at the table, what we think the top 5. I'm not going to do the whole table because that's going to take forever, but I did ask you guys to both give me your top 5, because I'm assuming 5 is definitely going to be Champions League spots. And I've asked you guys to send me your relegation as well. So you guys get involved too. And again, this is going to play into that poll as well. I want to know where you think United are going to finish. But what will the top spots look like? And this is what you guys have come up with. Dylan, why don't you walk us through your top 5 and your thought process there, and then also your thought. You pretty much just decided that no newly promoted team is going to survive.
Well, I mean, I'd say hello, Minnie.
Amen.
Hi. She missed me, guys. Sorry, I had to go back to work, and she was very upset. So, anyway, the newly promoted teams. I mean, the only one I was like, would probably do it would be Coventry, but I just don't. The newly promoted teams, besides Sunderland last year, have had such a hard time staying up, and I don't know if Coventry have enough. Ipswich and Hull were the 6th place team, and just not lucked their way. Like, that was a good team effort, but I don't think they're going to have enough to stay up. Ipswich lost Kieran McKenna, and they've got a new manager, so I don't see them staying up. The other one I thought I was kind of between like Newcastle, but I think they'll probably just stay up by the skin of their teeth. The other one I was looking at was Fulham, with Marco Silva being gone. They don't necessarily. I mean, they still got the team, but they look shaky at times. Like they get up really high and then they drop back down. I think their average position that they've had is probably the 11th or 12th, and I think Silva played a big role in that, getting them there. And I don't know how the new guy's going to go, but I was like, I don't know. Frank Lampard, bless his heart, he did well to bring him up, but I don't see them coming. I don't see any of those new teams staying up.
Yeah. Interesting. Walk us through, because you guys both almost have kind of I guess not identical. So you've got Arsenal winning. Both of you have Arsenal winning. Both of you have City second. Dylan, you've got Chelsea above us, and then Liverpool in 5th. All of us have Liverpool in 5th as well. It's really these 3rd and 4th place spots. Actually, for me, it's almost completely different from y'all's. What are you guys thinking? Thank you, Saeed TV Extra. I don't know what the jewels and stuff mean, but it seems like it's pretty helpful, so I appreciate that.
Big up, Saeed.
Go ahead, Ian.
I mean, not much different, as I say. I think Arsenal have enough, and I think they've strengthened in the right places. I think if it wasn't for Saliba getting injured, I wouldn't even have a doubt. But I think they've done enough. I think City looked embarrassing against Arsenal in the McDonald's Trophy, but I think even with that absolute clown in charge, the B-Tech Fraudiola, I still think they've got too good a team to not do well. I think we'll easily be 3rd. I was so going to put a 2nd, but I thought I'm going to get caned to pieces by the chat if I put them 2nd, and they're going to want to know why. And I couldn't justify it. But I think Chelsea will be a lot better this year, especially without European football. Every season they don't have it. I mean, what was it? Last year they won everything. The season they didn't have European football, end up being like world club champions.
I mean, that doesn't really count for anything. So
no, but I mean, and with Alonso in charge, I don't think he'll go unbeaten. Like some Chelsea fans think he will. Like,
I don't think
as
he'll
he
go
proved
unbeaten, but I think that, like you're saying, no European football whatsoever.
it benefits him massively.
Xabi Alonso is a good coach. I think he won't be as hamstrung at Chelsea as he was at Madrid. You can't be a tactical manager at Madrid. It's kind of like being a national team coach. That's why Nagelsmann didn't really work. Tuchel's didn't really work. I think guys like Ancelotti, Mourinho, even Ollie would probably do really well in national team manager because you don't have enough time to sit and implement tactics. And I don't think I think at Madrid it's very
Man management.
Yeah, in Madrid, and I just think that there's too many. Honestly, there's so many players who probably who never even old enough to watch Xabi Alonso play football.
Yeah,
Which makes me feel old.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, but his name still carries weight. Like all
It
you gotta do is
should.
look him up. And
It didn't seem like it did, though, did it?
yeah.
I mean, Real Madrid's a different monster there. Like you've got.
Oh yeah, it is. You have to be one of about less than a handful, Dylan, don't you? Other people. If it wasn't Jose, only Zizou was walking back into that dressing room, and everyone's going, "Shit."
Yep.
Not
For
me,
Chelsea,
not me.
Yeah, for Chelsea, that's with the way their team is structured with those young players. Plus, they've got Welbeck and who's the
Henderson.
other one they signed. Henderson, thank you.
Yeah,
Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers.
yeah.
He's
Rogers
still
would
young
tear
too.
it for them, I think.
But think about Welbs and Henderson being like, no, I played against this guy. He knows what he's talking about. No, in the locker room, adding that extra part. That 100% was part of that. Why they went and got those. Add that.
Oh,
add that steal not only with the team, but also be like, yeah, the guy knows what he's talking about. And so for Chelsea, I do expect it. And like you said, they don't have European football. That's why I put them ahead of us, just because it's like we did. That's all we had to focus on.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to go deep in the cups.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sean's got a madness
without Champions League football, and imagine what would happen if Carrick would have started the season. Without Champions League football, we could have very easily put. I mean, the form he was in, the points per game, the runs, like that's league winning.
We won.
Form.
Yeah, we would have won with that record.
So, and I do think Chelsea could surprise a few people. I don't think Arsenal are going to repeat. I think repeating is way too difficult.
It's very difficult
These days. I think it's just the money.
I don't think they even did it under Wenger, did they?
No, we've done it. I mean, I don't even count City because nothing counts for City. I don't think that we're going to be in with a big shout. I think that we left it a little late, and then we've got, I don't know if quite yet, and we'll talk a little bit in the transfer rating show after the window shuts. How capable this squad is to balance 4 competitions. As opposed to 1. I don't think City are going to have a great season. Like you're saying, they have great players, but. And Maresca is just not a good coach.
For City, for me, remember when we hired David Moyes and it was an absolute train wreck?
Yeah, it is. It is the same.
It's given me a little bit of those vibes. Like, the players are good. Like we saw when Van Gaal came in and we kind of rebounded a little bit. But City are giving me vibes. And I still think the players are good enough to get second. Because I think Chelsea are still going to have learning curves. I know we might actually get third now that we have the Baleba stuff. Like that news might have swayed me a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's first now.
But City are gonna, if it's not gonna be Maresca, they're gonna have some rough times here coming. Because
I don't.
They'll
see
be
him.
begging for David Moyes by Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like the next question is manager sacrifice. Which manager
it's
is
him
first? I mean, you have to think it might be Maresca at this point, right?
Ah, it's him. It's definitely him.
But what about if Areola might not? If they don't start out well and Liverpool are down in 15th.
They didn't do it to slot though, did they? I don't know if they will.
Yeah, but that was a year of that. Will the fans take that again? Will they take it like a down?
He definitely plays a different brand of football that I think that will keep them on side a little bit. But again, at the end of the day, results are all that really matters.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they're going to want another repeat. But you definitely don't know. I think that Maresca for me. City could have a scene like United remind me a lot of the Dallas Cowboys, where like we were unstoppable, and then it just takes a couple of poor decisions and stuff, and like we're still top. Like the Cowboys are still one of the most top, like highest, like most valuable clubs, but it's been a minute since we've bloodied some noses.
Super
And
Bowl.
I think City, again, what we've shown is how important it is to get that managerial, how important it is to get everything behind the scenes right, the structure, all that stuff. And I think that City just, yeah, I don't. When you don't have someone like Pep, as much as I don't rate him in terms of as a manager,
No.
because of just, again, you can't ignore the X factor of like the checkbook and all the charges, and even at like other clubs and stuff. There's a lot to be said there. We won't go into that, but we'll see. I don't think that Maresca does seem a little bit like a yes man. He does not seem like he's going to get as much respect from the players as I think Pep does. He's not a proven winner or anything like that. So we're gonna see what happens. But I'm definitely going Maresca there.
I saw somebody say they've got like some dictators have a double in case they get assassinated. It's Pep's double in case they get tiled in court. It's like
I said, they don't have to replace any
just tar him with a
any
brush.
of the photos or anything because he just looks
No.
exactly like him. They just save money that way. I mean, we know they could be struggling for money. Who knows?
Absolute frauds.
Bexy's going Arsenal first, United second, Liverpool third. Yeah, you guys get your thoughts
Wrong,
on
Bexley.
top 5 and bottom 3. I think I had Ipswich, Newcastle, and Hull. I think Coventry might just avoid the drop.
I do too.
I think they've
Yeah.
strengthened enough, but we'll see. But we're talking about Champions League spots. We're talking about like what do you guys want, and what are your expectations? What are your demands? What do you think, or what are your minimums for United this season? You know, what do you need to see from us in terms of domestic trophies, Champions
Not
League
lose in the
runs?
first round of the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Please, dear God.
If we make it past the
Definitely.
first round of domestic cups, that's progress. That's
anything better in the cups, I have to see. But I'm especially one of these people when we're in a Champions League season. If it means we get to the last day of the Champions League, I don't give two tosses about the FA Cup or anything. I'm sorry, I don't. I just put the kids out. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. But if we're going into the last 8 of the Champions League and we're third or second in the league, the cups have got to come slightly lower down the line. But a third or better is a must.
I actually like the FA Cup more than I like the Champions League, if I'm being
I
honest.
do, but I think as a club and for us and for Michael Carrick as well, if we get to the last 8, we do a good showing, and we finish third or better again in the league, I think it just shows everybody who said he couldn't do it, that we can do it. And then it also puts Ineos in a really big position to go, well, now we can do what we want because I've shown you what we can do.
It's a big dice roll.
That's what we said that the other day, didn't I, Sean? That they have rolled the biggest gamble in football history, in my opinion, this season. Whether we get Baleba, Raum and Watkins, which for me, I would put us in title contention, honestly. But if we get those 3 players, it's still the biggest dice roll in world football.
Yeah.
So.
Dylan, what are your must-haves? What are your expectations from us this season?
Well, we got to make it out in Champions League. We have to get to the next round. We got to get that money boost. Like we got to. It was it top 20. I don't remember what it is. Champions League. Yeah. So we got to get. I think we will, but we said that before, and then Onana cost us 3 matches, and then we finished bottom of the table.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely not going out in both cups right away this time.
No.
Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, but really, so the more so, like I want to see progress there. I want to see us get to that round of 16, maybe quarterfinals for the Champions League. But I want to see us get second or third in the league again. I want to get that consistency.
Yes.
I want us to start building towards that challenge thing. Like we can get up there. We can be.
I almost want us to focus on the league first and foremost. Solidify that. Because we're guaranteed 8 games in the Champions League, and I think that's what Ineos are honestly. And I'm not saying I agree. I think Ineos are already banking on the revenue from the 8 games as
they are.
for SCR next summer. I think that for them means a lot more. Obviously, I would love a round, get at least to like a round of 16 would be great. We'll see. It depends on the draw. And this is why I rate the league much higher than the Champions League.
Did you guys realise? I didn't. Sorry, Sean. You just reminded me. This is the first time we're going to play in the league stage,
Yeah, the new
league
league
phase.
phase, yeah.
We've never played in the Champions League since they changed it to this. Oh yeah, so
So it's more money.
I think
Definitely is more
you're
revenue.
100% right what you're saying about Ineos. They
Oh, I think that's
planned
exactly
that
what Ineos was
already.
looking for.
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
100.
that's found money for them. I mean, obviously we were in the league stage of the Europa League, but if you look at the prize money in the Europa League versus
It's
the
nothing.
Champions League, it's you actually will like, and I put up that number those numbers a couple weeks back. It's probably like last month now that it actually on average will cost you league position in the Premier League if you make a deep run in the Europa League because you're putting your squad at risk. You're spending more sometimes. So money wise, and like all that results, I think it was like a drop of like several
Mm.
places on average in the league, and that's costly. You'll get more for finishing just inside the top half for like going deep in the Europa League. So it's almost not worth it sometimes.
You know what you're saying about the obviously in the way Ineos look at it in the Champions League. If you play and you're not on TV, do you get more money if you play and you are on TV, or is that stupid to say? Because you're obviously getting more because you're on TV.
Well, they're all on. I don't know how it works in the UK. They're all
Uh,
streaming here. Like
yeah,
they're all like it's
but
all streaming. One of them is on basic. I mean, I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't.
But
I
do you
don't
know
know
how much
exactly.
United are raking it in? Do you know Man United's first 9 games in all competitions this season are all on TV?
Yeah.
Every single, not Man United TV, normal. Every Man United game we play in
Paramount
the
Plus
next
would
nine.
love it if we got relegated because they'd get like billions of new subscribers
On the
like the next
championship,
day.
yeah.
They would love it. Dylan, what were you saying earlier, Dylan?
I was just gonna say, usually they'll throw one of those games on like CBS or something, like if it's a
Yeah.
big one. Like if it is us like versus Bayern, or the one last time I saw it was Real Madrid versus Bayern, and that was a group stage match, or a round of 16 match or something, and then the rest of them are on Paramount Plus. And
Yeah.
you just pick whatever you want.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, we're united. I mean, you and I went to. I mean, our fixture that we went to last year in Newcastle was moved because it's.
That didn't cause any problems.
Yeah, but that's because we're the biggest club.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love Champions League round of 16. I'd love a domestic cup, and I'd love top four. I just wonder, is that too much? Maybe a lot of it could depend on how the rest of this transfer window goes. We've got a couple weeks left ish of the transfer window that could make a difference. I think what we have now, like even let's say assuming Baleba is finalized, I would expect a lot of that stuff. Because I think the squad overall is a good squad. I just think it needed to be improved upon. We needed to add depth. We needed to add balance.
Definitely.
And we saw what the squad was capable of in the league last season. We didn't, and so with Carrick. So I'd like to see what I like to think. But yeah, the Champions League draw is going to be interesting. We got to play two of the big teams for sure in the league phase. So that's going to be. We'll see how it goes. But I would go all out in the league personally. You're
Yep.
guaranteed 8 runs of games in the Champions League. I would definitely go all out in the league. So
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not. I don't want to just throw the cup competitions, but for instance, when we're in all of them, all competitions, the Carabao absolutely has got to be the youth. As many of the youth players that can play have to play. Anyone who's not quite first team and not really up to speed plays. I don't want to see Bruno or Sesko's in boo boos in that game because there's no point. 0 point. We've got
yeah,
too many big
let him run it.
games.
The Champions League. I think that Champions League phase will end just before the Carabao Cup final.
Yep.
Mm,
So we'll have a decent idea of what that looks like.
yeah. I think
But
it's
yeah,
just the best opportunity for the young players. If we're going to keep some of these young players and not loan them out, the best opportunity to step up from 21s to Man United first team is the Carabao Cup because it is the least competition we should give a shit about. That is, I don't mean we want to throw it away. I don't care. I want to throw it away. But I also wouldn't care if we won it.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's hard. I do love the FA Cup, but I think I want to really get a good strong run in the league. I mean, we're going to talk about it because we've got a really decent like start to the season, and I want to know what you guys think points wise we could get from the first 5 fixtures of Hull, Ipswich, Everton, Man City, and Fulham are our first 5 games to start the season. On paper, they say it's the easiest start to the season. I think that Everton and City would. I mean, they could. I mean, it's nice to get two newly promoted sides, but we've also seen that that's not a guarantee of anything either. So again, nothing is guaranteed in the Premier League.
And they're walking in. They're not going to be afraid. Like remember when Brentford got promoted and they beat Arsenal. Like it's the same thing. Like they have nothing to fear. They're playing with house money. So if we walk in there like we've done before, and I don't think Carrick will do this. I think he's better mentality wise than we had with Ole, when we had with Ten Hag and things like that. It's like if we walk in there and they're like, yeah, we're just going to win this 2-0. I'm like, we'll probably go down 1-0 within 10 minutes, and then we're fighting the entire time.
Yeah,
we've been saying that all week.
That's what Everton showed us last season too. Yeah. They went up 1-0 and
down a man.
They parked the bus, and that's the last thing you want. Yeah, that's like the worst. That's like a perfect storm of a David Moyes, like a situation you don't want to be in. Not only are they up 1-0, but now they're down a man. Like, take either one of those, and he's going to park the bus. And he just parked a couple of buses in that one. He was like, "Yeah, you're not getting through here." Now, Amorim
excuse to put two in
didn't help by bringing on Cobby. I think Cobby could have definitely helped unlock that block a little bit. So it is what it is. But it's Everton are more than capable of shutting up shop and nicking the 3 points, as we've seen. But yeah, how many points do you think we can get from those first 5? Again, that's Hull, Ipswich, Everton, City, and Fulham to start the season. Danny's going 10 or 11 points.
Yeah, I'll be very disappointed with anything less than 10. I really would. I mean, I'm not just giving it any large, but if we play how we can, we beat Hull, we beat Ipswich.
If we have 2 points or less out of the first 2 fixtures, I might throw things.
Is Everton the third game? City are the fourth game,
and City are the fourth.
And we had the empty, hadn't we?
Yeah, I think 10 or 11 is probably safe. That's a couple wins. That's 3 wins, 2 draws to get.
Where's the derby?
I think it's at City to start.
Oh right, well then we're beating them at their ground. Yeah, we just love to do that. So that's happening. I'm gonna say 12.
No, it's actually at Old Trafford. Sorry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still beating them. I was going it either way, so I said to me bets. Yeah, I'm going to say 12, but anything less than 10, I will be not happy with.
Yeah.
I think 10 is probably where we get. I do think with one of these first games we definitely draw, just because we're going to be working.
I could see Everton like that.
The fight. I mean, I think Hull could surprise a couple people. Bexy, we'll talk about a Hull match on Friday. We'll do a preview on Friday for a Hull.
Yeah. We've all been scared of McBurney all week. Sean's been warning everyone all week. McBurney.
They made Gelhardt's move permanent, so that's not great either. That just happened this week, so that's not looking. That doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence because Gelhardt and McBurney were like destroying teams last season. So. We'll see.
It's first match, so
it could be a wake up call, or it could just be business as usual. But we'll see. That's the one. Honestly, those first couple, I'm a little bit more worried about, just because those two are not great. And they picked up. Who did they pick up? I forget who else they picked up now. Did they pick up Jens Hertogdahl from Tromsø? Was that them?
I think it
was
did.
that Brentford?
One of them. He went somewhere. I saw it. I saw Parrott turn down West Ham and went to Betis. Well, did you see that
one? So I'm just looking up who they signed. I know they signed someone. So they signed Merida from Sporting. It's a pick. Yeah, they did sign Jens Hertogdahl. They picked up Zambrano, who's very good as well. Luca going to Duath, who's also very, very good as well. If you guys have been following along,
they're going to be dangerous. Yeah, we will.
Bexy's going 12 points. I said 10, 11. Dylan said
Bex.
10 or 11.
10.
Ian's going 12. All right. All of us sound so confident.
We've been hurt too many times, Sean. We've been hurt too many times.
I'm ready to be hurt again. Let's talk about what the season has for Michael Carrick. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. How did that get in there? Somebody hacked my computer again. Fandiculous, what are you doing? Michael Carrick.
There we go.
What's Michael Carrick? What does the season hold for Michael Carrick, you guys? What issues do you think he still needs to iron out in the squad? Did preseason tell you anything? Are you worried? What about last season? Is there anything from last season that you'd like to see him make sure he addresses this season? Get it going in.
I think the season holds promise. I think he would say the same. I think inside, I actually think he'd be quite happy with how pre-season's gone. He's definitely going to want, we heard in his statement, his own words, I would like this, I want that. But I think we give him 1 or 2 more players, and and he gets the luck of the green, and I don't mean refereeing decisions or VAR. I mean injuries. We get a season where we're not absolutely bottom of the pile injury every week, and he's having to change everything. I think we're going to have a good season. I really do. What we saw last season in flashes in pre-season, which because you can only see it in flashes because it's not the 11, but I do think what we will see is a more structured, almost 8 or 9 players that are the same almost every week. And once he gets that ticking, I think we can really cook some teams this year. But he's just got to be given the right. He's got all the nails, but no nail gun or a hammer. Just give him something to just hammer it home finally. And I think he will be really looking forward to it. And I just want us to start on fire. There's not been a while since we've absolutely walloped a team like 6-0 or something. Like just obliterate Hull. Yeah. Get Old Trafford absolutely rocking.
Yeah. Dylan, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking for Carrick? What does he need to do? What have you learned from preseason? Anything from last season you think he needed to work on?
Well, we've seen him make changes tactically, and I like that. I like the flexibility at times. I'd like to see, now that he's had a preseason with a lot of these players, to see that a little bit as well. Throw a wrench into the works of somebody that thinks that a team that might have you figured out. I forget which match it was. We started out with the 4-2-3-1, and then he switched to the wing backs. 3-5-2. It was one of the matches right after he took over, and it didn't work out perfectly. But just to see, like, hey, he's willing to do those things. He's willing to change it up, because with Ale, with Ten Hag, it just felt like they were just like, just do it, and it was just there wasn't the tactical flexibility. Even with Amber,
you felt like there was no plan B if it wasn't working. Yeah,
I want to see more of that. We've seen bits, we've seen pieces. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also want to see, and I think he'll do fine with this, just based on kind of his demeanor, what he's done. I want to see when shit really hits the fan. It's not, like we lose a couple in a row. Okay, how is he going to respond? Are we still going to have the fight, or are the guys we going to start seeing heads go down? I think he'll be fine. I think they'll fight for him, but we didn't really see that. We had the one match that wasn't great, the Newcastle match, last year, where we lost 2-1. They were down to 10 men. That was another one. We apparently lose it down to 10 men, and that one we rebounded. We won the next match. Well, what happens when we lose 2? What happens if we draw 1, lose 2, whatever it is? Like,
it will happen. We will lose games. It's going to happen. We will have shit performances. It's going to happen. Like what we saw against AC Milan, that probably will happen. I mean, that happens to pretty much every team at some point throughout the season, once or twice.
Perfect.
It's just going to happen. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying we can't expect to just go win every single game and destroy everyone 4-0.
But that's what we're saying. It's like we haven't seen that happen yet.
Yeah.
Because we knew when Klopp would get clobbered, like one game, they were going to come out and they were going to fight hard the next one. When Fergie they'd get their ass handed to him. That wasn't going to happen the next game. Okay.
No.
I see pieces of that with Carrick, but I want to see it come together. I want to see that come together. I want to see those guys, if they get their asses handed to them, all right, come out. It's like, we're going to put one right by you. We're going to play tough defense. We're going to press in the right spots. We're going to keep the lanes tight. Let's do that.
I'd like to. So Danny wants us to get rid of the 4-man high press. I mean, I get your point. I think that it's usually a 2 when we're sitting a little deeper, and I think it's a 4 under certain, like when there's triggers, i.e. when the opposition's trying to build out through their fullback. I think we try to squeeze that space
rotate the trigger.
And I do think if that fails, or if the other team doesn't work in that way, I think it is definitely more of a 4-4-2 off the ball, which is fine. But there are little things I'd like to see us work on. There are some times where when the other team does have the ball outside of our box, we have a solid line of like 8 in the box. I'd rather see it like 2 banks of 4 with about 5 yards in between, like we've seen against Arsenal and whatnot last year, where we cut off those lanes a little bit. Because if we just rely on our ability to clear the ball, I think we've seen that it's just not good enough at times. We
No.
get done by movement. We fall asleep at the back post sometimes. We don't go and attack the ball, and I think I'd rather go and make sure there's pressure on the ball and maybe force an errant cross rather than give someone time and just rely on everybody getting rid of it.
Yes.
So that I like to see him be a little harsher with training, like the whole day off and stuff after matches and whatnot. I'm not super keen on that, especially if we lose. I like to see and that, I've talked about that before. Some of the training changes he's seen, I think the fitness is definitely not helpful, and I think when we're on 4 fronts now, he's got to. I'd like to see him step that up a little bit, to be a little bit more demanding. Again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it just looks a little too buddy sometimes for my taste, and I'd like to see like, nope, this is your job, this is work. Like, why do we have PlayStations and stuff in Carrington? We don't need you should be not playing PlayStation. You should be fucking training or something, like watching film or doing something. Like, go home and play PlayStation. But maybe I'm just old. Who knows?
I don't know. It's the way, though, isn't it? It is the way, and it's the modern way.
Move the ball quicker. I'd like to see him start doing that, especially when the space is there. Like, just tell them, like, you don't need to take this many touches. Trust that these runners are going to there and put that into some channels and get on the end of it. Especially, like, if Lamens comes out and claims a ball, like a corner or something, or just get it out and release it. We take way too long to do this sometimes. I'm glad that we've stopped forcing that bounce pass, because that absolutely does my head in.
Didn't see it once in that last 2 games, not once.
We just need to move the ball a little quicker. I get Carrick is very calm. He's a very composed kind of guy, but I worry sometimes if that is having a little bit of an adverse effect on a trickle-down way to the squad sometimes. I'm not seeing as much urgency in times when I need to see much more urgency and more like up the tempo a little bit.
I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. I think we're seeing almost flashes of that, like I said, in some of these pre-season games, like where we're comfortably moving the ball around in triangles instead of just bouncing the ball out. And when we do spring it, we were 1-2 bang, 1-2-3 bang, and we were in. We were like, on 2 or 3 of those attacks, I don't think there was more than 4 touches off 5 players. And you're like, come on, that's quick. That's nice, quick movement. What I agree with what you're saying, though, we need to see more on a consistent quality level.
Yeah, and on an individual level, like Danny says, like, I want Sonny Lamens to spend a couple days just focusing on his distribution, because his distribution is dog shit. I want to see Dorgu spending a couple days just working on crossing from open play, on the run, different depths, different positions. Just don't worry so much about putting it on a dime. Just put it in the box. Give me a good quality strike on the ball. Give me a good quality trajectory on the cross. Yes. Focus on that kind of stuff. I want to see players focusing on the things that they need to focus on, that they need to improve upon, because I think that's going to be the difference. We have like a 6.5-foot striker, and we can't put a freaking decent ball into the box for the guy. It's just not acceptable.
Another reason to get Realm. Just right now, everybody just watch David for a bit. Right. Look at that. It's amazing. He's putting the ball in the box, lads. I mean, they'll be stunned. Be a whole day at Carrington. Special bit on Amazon with that.
We have to just do better at a lot of things. It sounds like I said a lot of negatives. Again, I'm focusing more on what I'd like to see moving forward, because I do think that I do like Carrick's overall tactical approach, where it isn't just like what I think a lot of people expect to see from an English manager. It isn't just like, let's be aggressive, let's win the ball, then let's get forward. We've seen that at times.
Continental, isn't he?
Yes, you've also seen the Spanish influence of the triangles, the work in the ball in the space.
I love the overloads.
So I do think there's a mixture. I see a little bit of a 08 United side when we're on the counter, but I also see a little bit of like a European style as well when we have sustained possession and we're trying to kind of unlock things. So I like what he brings as a manager, but he's still young and he's still got some things I'd like to see him work on. So I think I'd like to see that get addressed.
That comes with experience, though, doesn't it? Like you say, I don't think you're being detrimental, because when you look at things that you want improved upon, you don't want to improve upon the things necessarily straight away that you're good at already. You look at the things you're worst at to improve upon. So the things that are detrimental to us are the things we've got to look at, because they're the things that need to be better. So yeah, I think that's completely right, mate.
Anybody get final thoughts on Carrick and anything tactically, personality-wise, or anything. He seems like he's fine in pressers. Like, I'm not worried about him in pressers. So
I love his demeanour. I just think he looks so calm. You can't shake him. It might all be going up, but people say he's so clever. Like, he's proper switched on and never. It's every minute of every day. He's football. It's just everything, every working minute. So, you know.
Let me see what this.
Here's a
Go ahead, Dylan.
Here's a question. Do you think, you know how Fergie would do the hair dryers, and we heard Ollie do hair dryers and things like that? Do you think that Carrick has just with how he is being as calm, that his hair dryer is different? Do you think it's more just like cutting, like it's more tact and direct? It's probably not young, because just with it, and this is my experience here, with the youth of today, you yelling at them means nothing to them.
No.
They'll just, that's it, in and out, one ear and out the other.
Well, it's also positive reinforcement to do that. So
yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's like, so I'm just wondering, do you think two things? Do you think that's his style, and do you think he could use a hairdryer at some point, just one of the old school ones? Do you think that would be more detrimental if he tried that at some point?
I think he's got a. Go on, Sean. I agree with Sean.
Out of character for him to go at. I think it's just, he's different. Like, it reminds me, like, I think of Ollie. We all think of Ollie as this nice guy, but we've seen him, like, literally live in matches have a go at someone like Lingard or something. Yeah. We've also seen footage of Carrick when Jose Mourinho got sacked, and apparently Pogba was bragging about it in training, and Carrick was the one who pulled him up on it. I don't think he's going to yell at you, but I think he's going to be quick to let you know if you're out of order, or if you're not pulling your weight. I think he's going to know, because he's played with some of these players, like Rashford, for instance. He'll know, like, if you're giving him, he knows where the weak spots are, and I think he'll let you know. I don't think he's going to scream at it personally, but
no, I think what I agree with Dylan's points. I think he's got the demeanour, and I agree with what Sean is. I think he's calmer. I don't think you're going to see him tearing into an individual player, not in front of the team. I think he's more than capable, and being a Northern, and I've been around Geordies before, they are loud, and if they need to be loud, they can be very loud, right? And I can imagine he can shout if he wants to shout, but I imagine it'd be like somebody really authority telling you off. But I also think if he wants to pull someone up on something, he'll take you to one side and lay into you in a private thing. I don't think he would do it in front of the team, because that's like embarrassing, and that's not about that. When you're trying to tell someone they've done something wrong, you ain't trying to embarrass a person. So
I think someone like Woodgate or Holland would probably yell before.
Jonathan Woodgate is a screamer. I definitely reckon he shouts more than anyone else.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with Carrick not screaming. I think you don't want to force it. You don't want to be not yourself, right? I mean, you don't want to go like Gordon Bombay in D2 and just not be who you are as a coach. Legends will know what I'm talking about. But I think he's got a style, and I think the players do respect him. I think, like I said, he's played with a couple of them. I think the coaching staff's pretty good. I'd like to see us get like a striker coach in. Maybe Rooney's not doing anything. Well, Rooney's doing something now. God help us all. But maybe Van Persie. Van Persie's not doing anything. Let Van Persie come and hang out.
Come on, Robin. Yeah.
Let's see. Bexy thinks Carrick is boring as hell. I mean, he was kind of boring as a player, but nobody can argue that he wasn't a class midfielder. I'm not saying world class, but he was class.
Yeah. But if you go back to the really, like, take away the first couple of years of Sir Alex, when United nearly sacked him, go from the season where it started to take off, people thought he was the most cardboard, boring, nothing manager ever. It didn't start till he started to, get later and later in his career. It's like more of the 90s Sir Alex, that he started getting a right prickly with everybody, the one we know now. He was quiet. The old Sir Alex, he'd say a couple of things, and it'd sound abrupt in that, like, Aggie Scottish accent that he had. But, like, he didn't become that abrupt with people in the press and in press conferences until later. Yeah. And we all say, look at a Premier League manager after a couple of years of being in the Premier League. You look haggard. We'll see what Carrick's like next year.
kind of flex a little bit because it's great to be that as a person, but I think being that as a player, being that as a person, and being that as a manager are going to be different. I think he is going to have to maybe also step out of his comfort zone a little bit as a manager, get animated on the touchline, maybe like Bill made to your point, maybe do have a go at somebody now and then
Kick a water bottle.
when it's warranted, when it's like I'm not gonna I'm just using this example. Let's say Rashford just like he has another Ross Barkley moment. If Carrick isn't on that touchline, blow dry treatment Rashford, like that would be I'd be more upset at Carrick because like that's the kind of stuff that needs to get called out. And I don't care if it's on camera. I don't care if it's front of the team in the dressing room. Like that's the kind of stuff that I would hope that Carrick would call out. Like. And I don't think that anybody would have an issue with him doing that in front of everyone else. You can't always wait until a one-on-one, like 2 days after the match, to just go ahead and say, like, hey, by the way, saw you didn't track back. Didn't really appreciate that. Can you put him, like, it's got to happen in the game, and he's got to impact the player individually in the game, or he's got to take the player off in the game. Like, that's what I mean. Like, we can't wait this long. We don't have the luxury of that.
No, I agree with that. I mean, whether he shouts at him or not, or like you said, it's a Woodgate or someone's shouting that during the game. But if we, for instance, let's take Rashford, he has a shine off moment and he throws his shirt or he kicks off. Maybe we all like, well, why is Carrick not having a go at him? If the next game, Rashford's not even on the bench, you go, well, all right, okay, that's how he deals with it then.
If that happens,
not on camera,
I'm telling Rashford to go straight to the dressing room and don't come back out. Like,
but I say some managers don't do it on camera. But like I said, if you don't see him screaming and shouting, and it's Woodgate, and we're all going, "Oh God, why is he letting Rashford get away with that?" But the next game, he's not even a sub. That's Carrick going, "Oi, out. See you later."
How much of what happened?
That's strong as well.
How much of what happened under Amram with Rashford do you think Carrick is kind of keeping in mind moving forward? Do you think that plays into any of this?
I think it'd definitely be in the back of his mind. But then, like you said, he's played with. Did he play with Rashford at all? I can't remember. I think he did.
I think so.
So
he got a season or two.
He also might feel like he knows him on a different level. Like we all know the Marcus Rashford we get to see. None of us know him personally. You know what I mean? So if you know someone personally, or you get an opinion on someone, I mean, you could have a friend, and then someone else says to you, "I don't think much of him." Whose opinion are you taking? Yours or someone?
I would love to see Carrick go full Fergie. Like, if I find out you're in Belfast, you better just stay there and hope I don't find you. Don't
just go like this. He goes, what? Go passport. No, it's a season. Passport. Don't need it.
You have his driver's license, so you're not worried about that.
He can't drive at the moment. Passport.
What about you, Dylan? Do you think any of the Rashford stuff is kind of factoring into Carrick's interactions and his plans for Rashford?
Yeah, like Ian said, he knows him. Like, he knows a little bit about what makes him tick. Probably will use that, especially he'll be like, if Rashford's kind of going down that same like way he was before, where he's not really putting the same level of effort, and he probably brings stuff up. He's like, hey, I remember that kid that was all fit and fire here, that just wanted to put his best foot forward. What happened to that kid? Like he's 10 times the player than the one we got right now. So
maybe that's the approach. Maybe you kind of come at it from that angle of like, I know that you're in there. Like, let's bring me that Rashford. We need that Rashford. And I mean, again,
Rashford.
Most of us would welcome Rashford's exit, but if he's here, then he needs to be here.
Yes,
100%. Otherwise, you're just a detriment every time you step on the pitch, and we can't have that. Yeah. And I hope Carrick will be able to identify that, because I think Carrick is a bit like a duck on a pond. Like, on the surface, I do think there's a lot. Like, it doesn't seem like there's much there, but I think below the surface, he's calculating, he's reading everything, he's scanning. If you watch his eyes, he's just constantly just all over the place, just constantly incoming data, just getting all of that input.
It's like Mourinho in that way. You always say Jose. You remember when he first was here, just wouldn't speak to anybody. Like, he's just writing in his notebook. I still remember the fourth official going, "Who do you want as a sub?" And he's looking up, going, and writing him. He's writing in his book. He just didn't care. And some managers are like that. Some are.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. Just the first couple matches, I think it's gonna be difficult. I mean, we've seen how many people are freaking out just over losing to AC Milan. If we drop points to Hull,
this is going to explode. This place will go absolutely nuclear if we lose to Hull.
It will be the end times. It'll be freaking, yeah, it's not going to be great.
It's Jaws
Guys,
time for Michael Carrick. Chum in the water. Just chumming it out.
guys, make sure
But
you
Hurt will
please.
be out there going, oh, yes, well, we know we should have got Nigelsmann. Oh, yeah, because he did so well.
Yeah, guys, make sure you make sure you subscribe, please, if you haven't yet done so. Share it if you haven't yet done so. We got one final question for you guys, and let me check the poll first. Let me see where the poll is, and I'll end this poll real
Who's
quick.
on this?
I asked you guys, where do you think Man United will finish this season? I had choices were first, Champions League spot, Europa or Conference League spot, or below seventh. So far, 48% of you, nearly half of you, 31 votes have voted for a Champions League spot. So our top five is probably going to be Champions League. Second was first, so we've got a lot of United fans in there tonight.
Kids.
10% said Euro Conference League, so that's looking at like sixth, seventh, ish, whatever that looks like. And then 3% of you, so the Liverpool fan, probably jumped in and voted for below seventh. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, close the poll. Thank you guys for getting involved with that one. One more.
I assumed the Champions League. Sorry, I assumed the Champions League was third. Yeah, I would have put first otherwise.
You only have to finish in like the top half of the Premier League to get into European competition these days. It's embarrassing. Also, I don't really rate it as highly anymore. I prefer it to be just champion. Like again, like the World Cup's another thing.
Coefficient, isn't it?
Soon we're gonna have like Mordor in the World Cup and Pandora in the World Cup and Wakanda in the World Cup and Westeros in the World Cup. We're gonna have all the houses in there. It's gonna be nuts, man. I can't stand it. The Shire, we're gonna have some hobbits on the pitch. Would look kind of cool. Would they have to wear boots? I don't know. Would you let a bunch of orcs on the pitch? Yeah, I nerded out. Guys, while we're also here, go and check out There and Back Again. There's a link over in the community post. Doing a live stream tonight, Jeremy. So big up, Jeremy. See how I tie everything together?
Seamless.
Like I know what I'm doing. Final big question. It's probably the most important one of all of them. How do you rate this year's kits, you guys?
I actually like the red one. I think you're really. The more I've seen it, the more I see it, the more I like it. I like the blue one, even though I've given my one away. But that white one is just no. It looks like a warm-up shirt. It looks like someone stuck the numbers on wrong. The thing on wrong. It just why I think that looks good next to the other two. No, this is my point. The Snapdragon's all the same. In fact, it's not. It's a tiny bit lower, just to accommodate the other things. If you're going to do that, you do it on all. Otherwise, you don't do it.
I read for Champions League, we actually have to make the Snapdragon logo different now for Champions League regulations too. I think you have to put the name on there because that's the full logo or something. I don't know.
Oh, right. Yeah, possibly.
Weird.
It's just not good for me. Yeah.
No, the blue one slaps. I'm not gonna lie. If we could wear that every single week, I'd be happy with that one. That's amazing.
I'll say I like the blue one better when they were playing. I didn't like it when it was unveiled. I thought it looked a lot better watching the highlights.
Yeah.
The white one looks all right. It's just not. I like the one we had a couple years ago. That one was everything was framed better.
Yeah.
It was the first time we did that. The red one's traditional. I don't like the big lines. They throw me off a little bit. I like the collar. Now I do like the collar. I always like a one with a collar on there.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. I liked last year's kits better. I think, and that's just me being biased because I liked purple. But I thought the black and gold was good. I thought the home kit was good. I thought the away kit with the purple and the white was good. I thought this doesn't do the same level. This doesn't have the same level of interest for me.
We need the red out kit. Where's the red out?
Hopefully we can get that. I know there was rumors that we were going to be doing an all monochrome fourth kit. I think that's the easiest way. If any of us want to raise money, that's one of the best ways to do it because you're not forcing people to buy it. You're not firing people to get it or anything. You put it out there and you do it. If you can collaborate with someone, I mean, we got freaking Orlando Bloom, who's a United fan. You get Legolas out there to do a commercial in that. You've got McElroy. You got Gary Oldman. Like, get these guys to come out here and do some stuff, man.
We were linked with as well. We were definitely in the running or the last five for the set, what they call the blackout kit, and it's that anti-racism in football. And they pick one team every couple of years and then just black your entire shirt out.
Interesting.
You
Interesting.
don't
Yeah, I
pay for
would.
that either. That's just a
I
kit.
wouldn't mind
They
the
do
all
it.
red for a fourth one, like red badge, red logos, red everything would be cool.
Mm.
Madable Sam says, "Feel the away kit is the best one. The third kit hurts the eyes." Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I like the way one is definitely my
I say
favorite of the
cold.
bunch out
It's
of
the
all of them.
closest. It's the closest to this one. So
Mhm.
no, wrong side again. Wrong side again. That one. It's the closest to the classic. My favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Philip says, "Just can't get used to us in blue." We have a lot of really nice blue ones. Honestly, one of my favorites is blue. It's from 1112 slash 1213. It's the blue with the Aeon, but it's got like black hoops
Oh,
going
I
Yeah.
down
like
it.
that one.
I
That was
could
a
I
That's
could just see Raphael and Chikorito in that. I
yeah.
don't know why. As
That's
soon
that
as you
was
say that,
back
I just picture Raphael with that kit.
That was back under Nike, where 1 year's away kit would be the following year's third kit. So you'd get a couple of them 2 years in a row, which was kind of pretty cool. It's kind of like what the MLS does. I don't know if they still do it, but the MLS would only do it's every other year. So 1 year they'll do the
Yep.
home and away, and then the next year they'll only change like the home and the away will stay the same, and then the following year they'll flip flop it and they'll only change the away. So like the way for clubs to save some money and the way for things like that. So plus the fans, and I think that I've seen there's another league I've seen do this now. I can't remember. I just saw this like last week. It's also for the fans. Like your jersey's got a little bit more equity to it. Like you're
Of
holding
course.
on to it for a little bit longer, so you don't have to
Mm.
just go replace it every single year. Now the clubs are going to be losing money, but I think that I forget what club it was that I saw. It was literally just like last week that I saw somebody was doing this. Um,
Mm.
Might have been I can't remember now off the top of my head.
There's quite a few. I mean, you look at all the retro ones we got. If you take the shirts that I've got that are not either signed or like specialised, like the Champions League ones and things like that. Like my Sharp View Cam, when we had them valued, the black Sharp View Cam is my most expensive shirt.
Yeah, it's Brentford that does it. Um, Sorry. So I like that. I like that approach. Brentford are all about that. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how we line up. Obviously, Hull is away, so I expect to see the blue one in the against
Well, they
Hull.
wear
one would think.
yellow and black, don't they?
Yeah, it's like an orange
Yeah.
and black one. So and we could get away with either white or the orange and black, but it'd probably be the blue.
I
I
reckon it's
don't
blue.
like I don't like that we're forced to wear away even when our home kit like doesn't clash with another one. Like I think that's stupid.
Mm.
Like we shouldn't
I
have
just
to.
think they don't like anything that's in the same sort of palette tone, do they? So the orange, although it's not red, it is only yellow away from red.
But like if
So it,
we go to Stamford Bridge, why do we have to wear like a white kit? Why can't we just wear the red ones? Like it doesn't make sense. But whatever. Um, you guys, thank you for getting involved, both Ian, both Dylan, with the chat as well, and your
always
predictions. It's fun. It's fun. You know, the starting 11s are interesting. The top score chat was interesting as well. Had a lot to say about Carrick, what we've seen, what we want to see moving forward. A lot to say about our expectations and our demands. So we still got a couple weeks left of the window. We've got a couple days left because obviously we've got Premier League kicks off Friday. It's Arsenal versus Coventry. No one cares about that. So, but we get the early kickoff on Saturday, which we won't complain about because we're not Liverpool.
no,
But we'll see what it is. But we'll come back for the preview on that one. Probably Friday, we'll do the preview for that one as well. So make sure you hit that notification bell. But most importantly, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, everyone, for getting in. Did we hit the 20? I got to make sure, guys. If we hit
someone do the
20,
live check.
it's your last
Steph's not
chance.
here. Danny,
It's your last chance to get 20. If we get 20, then you guys get some 5 free memberships tonight. Oh, we just got 13. It's all right. But yeah, guys, take it easy. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Ian. You guys say goodbye to the legends
always.
in the chat.
Bye, legends.
Have a good one,
Peace.
everybody.